And so basically, thank you for joining us today. And we are so excited to be talking about emotions because this was something that was really dear to me. When Larry and I owned our print shop, we had lots of emotions around owning a business. And we ran our shop for 28 years. And in that time, I had always had suffered with stomach issues. I was always had food sensitivities, but of course, I was not allergic to anything because that's for those people. And little did I know that I had many allergies. I ended up going to the a naturopath and getting food tests done and allergy tests done, and it was incredible. I was allergic to eggs, corn, dairy, soy, almonds. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on, and I had no idea. And so I started on this path, this journey of trying to get better and trying to be able to find something that I could eat. And all the while, I was not sleeping, my hormones were getting out of balance, and I was becoming this mess, this hot mess, starting to go through menopause and just really dealing with a lot of different things. And finally, a girlfriend came in the shop and she introduced to me a little bottle of essential oil. And I'm thinking, I run a real business. Why are you messing around with network marketing and coming in and trying to sell me some snake oils? And that's how rude I was. I was pretty awful. And it's really embarrassing to say. But at the same time, I sat there and she goes, Becky, just trust me. And I realized that nothing else helped me. I mean, none of the other naturopath doctors, none of the doctors, none of the tests, nothing that I was doing, changing my diet and stuff was actually helping me. And so, I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And she goes, just take a little drop and rub it on your stomach. And I'm like, a drop? I need the whole bottle if this is going to work because I'm so messed up. And she said, yeah, just try it. And so I rubbed some on my stomach and it was just like an emotional experience. It was really, I'm getting emotional now thinking about it, how incredibly profound it was to be able to have such an amazing difference on just feeling better. The gas was like everything just kind of disappeared in a matter of seconds. And even when I share that with people, I think, oh, yeah, they think I'm lying. But it's incredible. I mean, you probably know how amazing the essential oils are when you try them, right? And it's just such an amazing experience. So, of course, about an hour later, I'd get gassy again, rub some more on my stomach. And then after a while, rubbing it on my stomach, pretty soon it was better and better. And I was able to eat more foods. I was starting to sleep better at night and realizing that as my gut was starting to feel better and get better, my emotions were starting to get better. And, you don't, it's so gradual and so subtle and soft. It's not like having 10 cups of coffee. When you have 10 cups of coffee, you're like, oh, whoa. And so anyway, the gradualness of having that emotion subside and the upset and the stress and all that stuff was just incredible. And so, Larry, you have anything to say about any of that?
Well, I mean, doing the business was stressful. The printing industry is very demanding, lots of deadlines and stuff like that. And over those years, I mean, in 28 years, we only took 4 vacations, and it was just because of all the things that we had to do in that business. And it wasn't until that day when your friend Cindy walked in and asked you at the front counter if she had something that could help you, would you take it? And when you said yes, and it worked, I thought finally you found a solution. And she even gave me an oil that helped me sleep because I always struggled, sleeping, very many hours at night. And I always had heartburn and stuff like that. So, they're the same oil that helped you with your stomach made my heartburn, basically disappear. And so we got so many benefits out of it. And just to take it on and be able to share it with people and have them see benefits from it was really rewarding. And when we sold the business last year and we decided this year that, we're still too young to retire, that we would just take this on and share these oils and help people. get them into their lives and see what they can do for them. And there is a good business opportunity with it too that we're experiencing. So yeah.
Well, shall we get started with this? Go ahead and get our class going here so everybody can learn what we're so excited about. Okay, so here we go. Share the screen. And can everybody see this okay? Let's see here. Here we go. Okay. So, and it still doesn't like automatically sharing. I don't know why that is. There we go. Okay, so basically, Larry and I decided to start doing this full time after we sold our print shop last year. And we are now building globally. We are working with people in India, South Africa, and Tanzania, and Nepal, Dubai. It's just so incredible.
It's very fun.
Yeah, to be sharing these oils with so many different people. And so again, we just shared a little bit about us. We've been married for 30 years, and there's a cute picture of us last year
At the beach.
At the beach. So essential oils, are so amazing for emotional support. And I want to acknowledge you for being here and choosing to learn more about supporting your emotional health. Our intention is to have this class to learn the science behind emotions and how the essential oils can support your body in that. We're going to teach you today some tools that will give you some healthy habits and healthy body chemistry to support your mind, body, and heart. So in this class, you're going to learn the science behind emotions, the tools, and the practical emotional wellness steps you can take now. You are created as a function as a whole. You are created to function as a whole. The spirit, mind, and body are inseparably connected, communicating to you at a cellular level. Your body is made up of intelligent cells, wired to restore health. This means that your body is brilliant in design and naturally wants to balance and to be balanced and to be whole. So this is pictures of cells and all the molecules and stuff in it. And to learn the language of your body, we need to know what emotions are and what are they communicating. Emotions are information-carrying molecules that bind and react to cell receptors. They go beyond the cell, impacting function and behavior. In other words, emotions are the smallest and most basic form, a chemical molecule. In this image, a cell is receiving these molecules from one receptor to the other. So if you look at the molecules are coming into the receptor sites. The receptors are molecules that function as senses or scanners, much like your eyes and ears. So basically, the receptors gather in clusters at the surface of the cell. Go back to that slide here. Cluster at the surface of the cell, waiting for chemical to attach a message. The new information is received inside, and the cell impacting energy level, your behavior, your mood. It's fascinating to discover how emotions affect your health. So emotions are a chemical response. They trigger in the brain, and each person has a different experience. If a bunch of people are seeing something all happen, we all have a different experience about that. So did you know that one single drop of essential oil has over 40 million trillion molecules? That's even hard to say. These chemical compounds service every cell of the body in a matter of minutes. So when you think about the cell receptor sites and what's happening, you can understand really how these essential oils can really make an impact on your cell. The emotions and beliefs, there are three brains instinctively processing life experiences. Let me walk you through this. We have life experiences and processing. For example, have you ever felt immediate reaction to something, So the mind is the director. The subconscious mind directs over 90% of the behavior. The heart is discerning. The heart has neural pathways that run from the heart to the brain. So basically, we have more neural pathways that run from the heart to the brain, from the brain to the heart. Can you believe that? When I first heard that, I thought, no way. We have it that our head actually tells our body what to do. But in reality, you hear the story, go with your heart or go with your gut. Your organs are actually telling your brain what to think a lot of the times. So when you start thinking of the opposite of what we think, what we thought, then a whole class is going to make a lot of sense. Your gut is the processor. The gut processes 90% of the serotonin and other feel-good chemicals, and they're produced through the gut. So feelings are really chemicals that can help or hurt. So when you look at this picture of this woman, and she's got a happy mind, happy gut, happy heart. Have you ever felt like this woman in this picture? Immediately recorded in her subconscious mind, this image, you can see how the brain sends its own message. I'm going to go to the next slide here. So she's having an experience, and she's thinking about stuff. She's holding the baby, and the dog's barking, the phone's ringing, and something's going on, and it's just like very stressful, right? You can kind of see how she's processing that. So she's processing it like the mind might think, I have to figure this out. It's my responsibility after all, right? And the heart says, I feel overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, how am I going to do with this? And the gut says, I am stuck. Think about that. When you think about your gut as saying, I am stuck, think about what's going on with the food and that organ processing the food. If you're feeling stuck, do you think things are behaving properly inside your gut? And if you think you're feeling overwhelmed, how do you think your heart is responding? Is it pounding very fast? Are you aching? What's going on there, right? And so we have reactions that we do. The reactions are head tension. Conflicted feelings are going on in the heart. And in the gut, you may feel unsettled gut stuff. Things are just unsettled, queasy, nauseated. Then we have a belief. In the belief, we think and feel something simultaneously. A new belief is created. When this example, she now concludes that I am not good enough. How many have done that? Have you had something going on?
Oh, yeah, that's frequent. Yeah.
Frequent, yeah. More than we would like to admit, right?
Yeah, more than we would like to admit, but it happens, especially when things are going sideways.
Yeah. So a new belief is created. And actually, I would like to say that maybe it's a pattern of beliefs that's created, meaning you felt that way before, you bring that forward, you think of it often. And the more often you think about it, it's putting like a wagon going through mud. It actually, like when they traveled, the pioneers traveled east or what? Yeah, when they traveled west.
Yes. That's which way the wagon trains
Go west,
around.
pioneers.
Oh, west.
And they talk about the wagon wheels actually really digging deep into the mud and then the hardens and the wagons can't go out. Like they have to follow that trail or they'll, they just
there's really no other choice.
Yeah.
They get caught in that rut.
It's kind of like a train can't go forward without being on a track.
Yeah, it's on those rails.
And it doesn't mean that it's on the right track. It's just the one track that it can't change.
Yeah.
It can't change that thinking. And we think and feel something simultaneously. A new belief is created. In this example, she now concludes that I'm not good enough. We are always reinforcing old beliefs, planting new ones. Nurturing a belief produces fruit. Are you cultivating the seed or are you planting a weed? Hi, Terry. How are you?
Good.
Good. Wow. Good to hear your voice.
Thank you. I'm not too good at doing these things, but
oh, well, that's perfectly fine.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're all just doing this together, right?
Yep.
Larry and I decided that we would go through and just do many of these so we can get better at them and practice. And then actually, our whole goal is to help people understand all the different things that these oils can do that they actually have or don't have or whatever. But so we're just talking about this lady where she went through. I'll go back a few slides just so you can catch up with us. But you have a life experience and things happen. The phone's ringing, the baby's crying, the dog's barking, and all these things are going on. And basically, we have three brains. We have our mind, our heart, and our gut. And inside our gut, we go with our gut feeling, or we go with our heart. And actually, we have more neural pathways from our heart and our gut to our brain than our brain does to our heart and gut. And so it's incredible when we think about really our thoughts are actually instinctively processed through our gut and our heart, not the other way around. So when we go through and we're talking about processing that, if you're going through a stressful moment, you start to think, oh my gosh, I got to figure this out. Your heart says, I'm feeling overwhelmed. And then your stomach says, I'm stuck. And if we think about that, our emotions can create health issues. So if we think about a health issue could be heart palpitating, it's heart palpitations, or your heart aches, or you go through grieving or something. And in your stomach, maybe you're not processing the food. It's just stuck in your gut. Like the food is not, or you have diarrhea or something. Your body is going to react differently because of that emotion. And so when we have head tensions, conflicted feelings, or unsettled gut, that is a reaction of the emotion. So then we start to believe things. We have a belief, and it could be many different choices. We could believe that I'm not good enough, that nobody loves me. I mean, what are some of the things that we have when we have things that go wrong? I'll never figure this out.
Yeah.
Nobody loves me.
I want to run away.
I want to go away. I want to hide. Yeah. And so these are beliefs. And basically the belief is that when you create a belief that I'm not good enough, we are always reinforcing these old beliefs and these old habits. They're actually, I would like you to consider that these beliefs may not even be your own. And so we as a community, we get agreement from other people. Oh, I never thought about that before. Yeah, that's kind of like what I feel like, and we start to try to process and put meaning to things. And so we can choose any kind of meaning. We can choose meanings to be really positive or meanings to be negative. And we've seen a lot of that going on over this last year with the pandemic and the politics and I mean, lots of people put meaning to things, right? Whether one person thinks it's right or wrong or whatever, it's a choice that somebody made. And so here we go down the path here. We have the life experience. Again, we're processing it. I have to figure this out. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Our reaction to it. And then we actually have the belief. So what do we need to weed out? So if we can go through and think about the mood, what are we trying to figure out? So here my notes got turned around. So we can have different kinds of thoughts, like I was saying before, very negative thoughts. And if you think about it, everything around us is energy, everything around us. And so all that energy creates those neural pathways and creates those thoughts. And they can be toxic to our body or they can be healthy to our body. And so when you see the sunshine coming out in a day, you feel happy. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just, I'm going to go outside and play. Or when it's rainy and gloomy, we can make it mean, oh, it's so depressing. And it's just, so we can choose what those mean, right? So when we want to look at different essential oils to support healthy emotions, consider that all the essential oils that we have, you could have some in your house there, all have an energy to them. Now, one of the stories I like to talk about is When I give an essential oil to somebody and they have a baby that can crawl on the floor, they can put that bottle of essential oil on the floor, put toys around them, and then the baby will crawl to the actual essential oil, not to the toys, because they can sense that energy. And it's incredible. I think we all have some sort of sense when we first experience essential oil. We knew that there was something about them, that there was something magical about them. So when we talk about how an essential oil can actually support the healthy cell function, it actually will attach itself to the receptor site and cleanse it. So sometimes we have negative emotions because there's toxicity in our body that actually can affect the way our cells are communicating to each other. So it's kind of like a clogged dam. If I'm going to throw a ball to Larry with communication on it and he doesn't catch it because he's got all this stuff on his hand, then it's not going to receive that communication effectively. So what's really great is that these oils can not only promote physical and emotional detox, they're cleansing our cells and our mind, and they're making us feel better. So which oil do you have there, Terry? I saw you pick up an oil. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. It's okay.
That was Eric's. I wanted to see because you had the wild, looks like you had the wild orange there.
Yeah, so the wild orange. Eric's is a beautiful oil. That
Yeah.
oil smells wonderful. It's great in a diffuser. And if you mix wild orange and your oil there together, it will actually freshen up the room. And we're going to talk about that easy air in a minute as well, because it opens up the airways, your air in your lungs.
Mhm.
We tend to not breathe deep. So we're not anchored, we're not solid in our breath. So I tend to breathe very shallow. I'm like taking slow breaths. There used to be a customer that would come into our shop and he'd lean over to me and go, "Becky, breathe." He would actually come into the shop, yell at me, "Breathe, Becky, breathe." And then he would leave. Remember, John? He would do that. "Breathe, Becky, breathe." And I'm like, I didn't ever understand what he was talking about. But it does. If you think about what is your breath right now,
Mhm.
and if you can take a drop of the easy air that you have, and Larry and I will do a citrus bloom because I have it sitting right here.
Yeah, oh, it's
Okay.
beautiful.
I
And
have mine. Mine's in a diffuser right now on my
Oh,
desk.
beautiful.
yeah, that's perfect. So we're going to take our hands and we're going to rub the oils like this. So I put a drop on my palm of my hand. And Allison, I don't know if you're on the phone or not, but you can do this too. Put a drop of oil in your hand and then cover it over your nose and breathe in. Wow, that's nice.
It is very nice, isn't it?
Very
I love it.
calming. It's
I
very
love it. Yeah,
wonderful.
it's very.
And so
It's a happy sense and it's very calming at the same time.
one of the reasons why smokers are addicted to smoke is because they take that deep breath like this. And there's an addiction to that, like getting that deep breath into our lungs and stuff. And so if we can actually do that every day with the oils and help get that deep sense of breath into our lungs. Yoga practice, they will go through, I don't remember what they call it, but they do that deep breath like from your stomach.
Yeah.
What's it called?
You can do that on your watch too.
And Larry's watch even tells him to do that. But taking deep breath is very powerful in helping support your emotions too. So when we take a look at why are essential oils so crazy? Well, earlier I said that they have millions and trillions of molecules that actually will service every cell in our body. And if you put peppermint oil on the bottom of your feet, in about 30 seconds to 2 minutes, you will taste that peppermint oil in your mouth. Have you guys ever tried that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you should try it. It's pretty crazy. But the way essential oils are is they're aromatic, they're natural aromatic compounds found in plants. And so if you look at this peppermint plant and we zoom in on it very closely, there's peppermint oil sacs right here. And these oil sacs are protected by the thistly hairs on the peppermint leaf. So if you take a peppermint leaf and you rub it in between your fingers like that, it
Mhm.
breaks open the oil sacs, yeah? It's wonderful. And so when we go through and distill this, we will actually put it in a big bath and cook it, and the essential oils will break down and they'll steam. They will, because they're aromatic compounds, they will actually float up and separate from the water, and then that's how we'll get the actual essential oil. Larry and I got to go to Hawaii, and we planted sandalwood trees last year, and these sandalwood trees are going to be harvested in 16 years from now. And it was 16 160,000 trees on 10 acres.
Oh, yeah. So now there's an enormous amount of trees.
Enormous amount of trees. And they're going to be harvested in 10 years, 11 years from now, or something like that.
You said 16.
16, I mean, yeah. And they had all these numbers, right? We got to go to the distillery there where they're going to distill all these. And it was incredible. It's like, looked like a beer house, with all these big metal, and it was just incredible to see how they use the bark. They chip it and have little sawdust that they go through and distill from. And very, very amazing.
Yeah, so it was steam distilled, yeah.
Yeah, steam
from,
distilled.
From the bark of the tree,
Mm-hmm.
from the wood.
So choose carefully when you talk about essential oils and different brands and stuff. The grade of the oil that you determine, that you purchase, has chemistry, potency, and efficacy, meaning how efficient is it. And so doTERRA prides ourselves in having the purest oils out there in the marketplace. We test our oils over 60 different kinds of tests to ensure that they're very effective, that they don't have harmful fillers and contaminants in it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually when we look at this chart here, and you look at all the different essential oils or oils that are out there in the marketplace, you have food grade oils that are like 75%, or all the other oils like perfumes and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you have the food grade oils, and then that's like olive oil. And then you have therapeutic oils that are probably still stretched with harmful contaminants. They're unregulated. In our marketplace, in this essential oil marketplace, we have a lot of people say, oh, I bought some at the grocery store, or they were over at Fred Meyer's, or I found some online. But there are tons of tests to show that there's contaminants in those oils. That's why they're cheaper. You need 10 drops to match up to the 1 drop of essential oil that doTERRA has. So if we're looking at the reason why we have so much disease or harmful wellness concerns in our society today, like why 1 in 3 people have diabetes, why 1 in 2 people die of cancer, what's going on with our bodies? It's because our bodies, our immune system are constantly being taxed with these chemicals that we're dealing with. When you're putting perfumes on, when you're cooking with artificial flavorings, and when you're cleaning your house, the carpet, the paint on the walls, the everything outside, we can't get away from it really. But when we are looking at using an essential oil to actually counteract that, it's really important. So certified pure, tested grade is what doTERRA has. They source these oils all over the world. And we actually have been talking to people like in India that actually, we have the best cardamom oil in India, because, Indians love to cook with cardamom oil. But actually, when you really look at it, these oils in India are really good for the gut. But we can source cardamom oil in Guatemala. And that cardamom oil sourced in Guatemala actually helps the brain too. There's actually properties in that oil that actually help the lungs and help the stomach, support the stomach. And so that's really impactful and really powerful to know. And doTERRA is the only company that does 60 different tests. It used to be 20, then it went up to 30. They just keep adding all these different tests because they really want to ensure the purity and the potency of the oils, because they know when it's pure and potent, that when it's put on your body, it will actually make a huge difference for you. Any questions, you guys? How are we doing so far?
Good.
Okay. So how do we use essential oils for our emotional wellness? Um, so essential oils are, because they're raising the bar of the quality and the purity, we can actually target the support in your body. You can take them internally. Now, we were talking earlier about your gut health, like when your gut is not feeling well, we can use
Mhm.
essential oils to support the gut. And that's what I used when I had such bad stomach issues. And I love Digestin. It was a blend that I would put on my stomach. Um, every morning when I'd wake up, and it was incredible. So then once my stomach started feeling better, then my mind and my emotions started being softer and more kind to other people. um, so we talked about using them aromatically. Do you want to take this one, Larry?
Well, yeah, aromatically, I mean, when you used certain oils, it really shift the mood. And smell is the fastest way to affect our mood. Aromatic molecules have direct access to the limbic area or emotional seat of the brain. And so it is such a wonderful way to do it. I love to put the diffuser on my nightstand and just put some wild orange in there and let it go. I thought that was weird in the beginning because people were saying wild orange is a very uplifting oil, but it's also like when I got ready for bedtime, I was tired, but it was such a happy oil that it really relaxed me, and I really sleep best with that. And I know there's many oils that are great for sleep, but wild orange is an oil that really works well for me.
Mm.
Well, and what's really cool when you think about that is when you have a happy oil and when you're at your happiest, you're very calm.
Yeah,
And
it
so
is
that really
kind of
brings that
relaxing.
down. So with aromatic, how many of you actually have a smell? You smell something, it takes you back in time. Like if you were to maybe smell peanut butter and jelly sandwich, does that take you back to your childhood maybe? Or I'm kind of trying to think of
Well,
something that.
there's summer smells and stuff like that when
Hmm.
flowers are in bloom or things are in bloom, and
Hmm.
and you can really smell them. It's just wonderful.
So um, smells actually have memory, and they bring us back to certain areas. So I wanted to bring that up for a reason. You'll see why. Topically, we can use the oils topically for self repair, like if you're feeling tension in the back of your neck, bottoms of your feet, or apply over your heart. I love using balance over my heart because every morning after I get out of the shower, I'll put some on my heart. And I can feel the tension just kind of, and I'm like, why am I tense? I've just slept all night. Maybe I'm already, anticipating the day or something like that. But um, yeah, so you can rub it over your stomach internally. Balance here is another oil that you can take internally. So you always want to be able to look at the dietary labels. Now, you were looking at Easy Air there, Terry. Can you take that one internally? If you look at the bottle, there's actually going to be a essential oil supplement fact label on it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me try a different one here with my. Um,
And it says aromatically topical use, diffuse.
Mhm.
No, this isn't one you would take internally.
Okay, so good. So then that's really a good tip, you guys, so that you know that if you're not sure if this one is good for internal use or not, just look at the label on the bottle. And since we're looking at the bottle, I wanted to show you. Can you see the printed code on the bottom of it?
I've seen that before.
Yeah, that printed code, if you actually go to source2you.com, and on that website, you can type in this code and it will actually show you all the results of this batch of oil, what the testing came out with. Now it looks just like a heartbeat big chart thing, and nobody knows how to read them unless you're a scientist. But they're showing you that this is the ratings of all those different chemical compounds found in like a balance oil or found in like the fennel oil or something. So but you can take balance internally. You can put it in a gel cap or put it on your tongue
Mhm.
as well. So balance is really good for stress, scattered, anxious feelings. I love balance. It's really a good oil. Do you guys have balance oil?
Yeah, I have it at home.
Yeah.
I don't think I have it here. No, I've got Breathe. Oh, I take it back. I lied. I have balance here.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's a wonderful one to put in a diffuser. Yeah, as you're working and stuff. So grief. Grief. How many of you guys have lost a loved one that was close to you?
Oh, yeah.
I think we all have, right? And again, that goes back to not being able to breathe deep. It affects our emotion within our breathing. And so having the breathe oil for grieving or feeling sad is another way to help support your respiratory function and to be able to clear the mind and kind of come to resolve around it. I don't think we're ever resolved with losing someone close to us, but grief shows up in other ways too. We have grief in a lot of other ways, like, can I think right? I look at Larry.
I got nothing.
No, nothing.
No, I know, but it is. I mean, when you say the word grief, I mean, you obviously you think about losing someone, very near and dear to you.
So Onguard is the oil of the year. Onguard is a protective blend, and it actually is protecting you. It's going to protect your heart, protect your emotions. So when you're feeling vulnerable, then put some Onguard on. It'll give you strength. It's kind of like the Superman oil. I like to think of it that way. And especially during these times, taking this internally morning and night, I like to take the oil and just drop a few drops in my mouth. It's very, very strong. Keep it away from your chapped lips if you have chapped lips, but drink some tea. I love hot tea with it. But this is going to help build up your immune system. And it is incredible. We haven't felt sick
No,
in years.
because it does. It has it has wild orange, clove bud, cinnamon leaf, and cinnamon bark. So those are the things that are going to give it the spice that makes it feel kind of like a warm cinnamon oil, and it is very invigorating.
Have you guys tried this one before?
Onguard is a very good everyday oil.
And that's why you see it in a lot of other products, why you see it the laundry soap, the cleaner,
The
the
toothpaste.
toothpaste, is that when you have it in the toothpaste, it's very good for like gum disease or gum inflammation. It will help really support that and take that away. And again, I've got more breathe here. It's good for constricted, distrusting, so if you're feeling conflicted about things or things like that, these things happen when you are feeling out of control or not supported. So take a deep breath and put a drop in your hand and breathe in. If you're feeling out of control or a lot of anxiety, that's a really good oil to use for that. So lifestyle choices to support healthy emotions. Looking at increasing your water intake, increasing your exercise and movement. I mean, we hear this stuff all the time, you guys, but do we do anything about it? My goal is to meditate for 5 minutes every morning, and I think I probably do it every other day. But I do know one thing that's really important is sleeping and getting a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And we've been waking up like at 5 in the morning and going to sleep really late because we're working in other countries on the other side of the world, and they on the opposite times of us. And so I can tell that I start to feel really like depressed when I don't have enough sleep. And it actually, my mind is confused with the feeling of that I'm depressed rather than, no, Becky, you're just tired. And so get some of the essential oils like wild orange and go calm yourself down and take a little nap.
Yeah, maybe a little forgive.
Little forgive. So what are you feeling now? Reach for one or two blends to do. That is not good English. Reach for 1 or 2 blends to best meet your emotional needs.
No, that's good.
Okay. So you fill your bucket drop by drop. You clear your mind thought by thought, and you heal yourself moment by moment. So as I was sharing earlier with the wagon going east, I'm going west. Why do I
Going
keep
west.
saying east?
I don't know. You want to go east for some reason.
I guess because we're west already. But when the pioneers came out west, those wagons, they followed each other and they dug that groove. And actually, that groove is very difficult to get out of. And so you can use these essential oils to help change your thought process and patterns. Check this out, you guys. I have this book. It says Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. And this is a really good book you might want to consider purchasing. And if you're a person that might be struggling with something, we have lots of history. I remember talking to a girlfriend, and she was sharing with me that she had got hit in the face with a baseball and broke her jaw when she was playing baseball. And she went to a physical therapist after they had all wired shut and everything. And she was trying to, get it back into shape and movement.
Yeah.
And the physical therapist leaned over and asked her, "What is it that you want to say that you can't say?" And she just started crying because she wanted a divorce. And she couldn't say that she wanted a divorce because she grew up in a very strong Catholic family with a nun as an aunt and all these people around her that were very religious based in the
Very
belief, traditional beliefs. And she just was struggling. And it's interesting how the energy that comes around to our bodies actually create dis-ease. And so looking at making decisions moment by moment, thought by thought, and using the essential oils to pull yourself out of those and have affirmations to help break those patterns. And in this book, they will talk about, and you'll notice if you look at other essential oil books and you look up any particular essential oil, they'll have this oil is good for stomach health or this or this. And at the very bottom, they always talks about an emotion. So each essential oil can support an emotion. And so when you're looking at some of these books, like this one here talks about being stubborn. If you're feeling very stubborn, then you'll have a stomach ache. I don't know if I should have said that one out loud. But if you're feeling emotional stress, then you might have a brain or like a headache. If you're feeling outraged, then you could have pancreas pain, things like that. So this book associates different emotional things that are going on. And it also has reflexology, where you can use essential oils to different parts of your ears and different parts of your feet to actually help break those patterns. So the foundational support, like what do you want to plant? What oils are you going to want to plant? This Essential Emotions app you can download on your smartphone. This app is incredible. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen this book. This book was written by our upline, Natalie Goddard. She actually didn't, she bought it from, and she enhanced it with all of her team. She's our immediate upline, you guys. She's been here to Whatcom County, and she's been here working with us and stuff. She's an incredible lady, and she put this app together with some of her other team members. What's really cool about this app, I don't remember how much it is. It could be $9 or $12. I think it's just a one-time cost.
Say $14.99.
Oh, $14.90. Thank you, Larry. $14.99. And what's really cool is you can look at the oil, and when you click on the oil, it will kind of show you like the emotions that this oil can help address. And then it also helps you choose different ways you can use the oil and different patterns that it's going to help break. And then I didn't have enough. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to read because it's so small, but you can click on the body tab. Like maybe if you got a neck pain, you click on neck pain on this tab, and it will actually tell you what's going on emotionally. And then you can use the oil to help the neck pain, as well as find an oil that will help with that emotional support. This is just incredible, you guys. I don't know. Do you guys think that's interesting? Have you heard of that before? This book here is called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. And this author is Carol K. Truman, and you can find it on Amazon. And this lady came to doTERRA conference one year, and I'd already read this book. I took it on a trip with me, and I couldn't put it down. This book made me cry over and over again because it talks about, I'm going to get emotional right now. It talks about our RNA. So you heard of DNA inside our cell. The DNA is actually inside our cellular wall. The RNA is part of that genetic code. RNA is memory. So we are born with our DNA, right? We are also born with memory. So we have continued patterns that we don't have to own. They're from our heritage. They could be our great grandfathers and forefathers, people who made decisions and thoughts that we don't own or have to own, but they're part of our makeup. We can actually go through and break those patterns. This book talks about it. Now, I'm going to get a little political here, and I don't mean to, so if I don't want to offend anybody, but that's what concerns me so much about this vaccine. This vaccine is mRNA. It actually stands for messaging. So when you take on a vaccine, it's actually dealing with the messaging in our bodies. Go ahead and look it up on all the different vaccines. It's mRNA. The M stands for messaging. Why are we doing this to our bodies? It's incredible. It has never been tested on humans before. This is a mass experiment that's going on. When they tested it on animals, they all died. I know animals are different than humans, but at the same time, kind of not. So really, buy this book and take a look at it. And you can actually, it really explains about the DNA and how the oils actually can really help break these emotional patterns. So if you know people who are maybe really feeling suicidal, things like that, have them consider supporting their thoughts and stuff with essential oils to see if that gives them some relief. Okay. Yeah. Any questions?
No, I just got that book ordered though.
Oh, wow, you're so fast. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. It's a very short read, actually. It looks like it's very thick, but it's only the first couple chapters that really talk about things. And then on the back part of it, it actually talks about like sinus trouble. Sinus trouble could be from a dominating possessiveness, being irritated by someone close to you. Interesting. Try to call the shots if someone else is trying to call the shots, like you're arguing with them, kind of. And so when I looked at this, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so incredible. Like to think about how this, and when I looked at my stomach, when I was having so many issues with my stomach, it's like incredible, the stuff that was so amazing. So I also have a little tool that's called an Itovi. Have you guys seen my Itovi? If I ever get a chance to get to you guys again someday, if we ever get out of lockdown, this scanner, it's a little hand scanner that you put in your hand, and it attaches to my phone. And what it does is it's all, our bodies are all energy, right? It measures the bioimpedance in our body, and it sends electrical shock waves through our body. It's very safe. Way make that sound. It's like a
Like we're
lightning
gonna
bulb.
electrocute us.
Stick in the microwave. But it's and what it's doing is it recognizes which cell receptors and which things are happening. It actually will tell us what oils our body could use. And when I do that scan on people, the very first oil that comes up, this book shows all the different essential oils, like juniper berry. Here is this one. And you read it, I would say 95% of the time, people, this emotion is dead spot on. And so it's really incredible to be able to give somebody a hand scan and be able to see where their emotions are and what oils that they can actually use to benefit. The person who introduced me to the hand scanner, she was moving from one house. She sold her house she owned for like 50 years, and she was going to another, completely different city, buying a whole nother house, completely new friends, everything, like totally uprooting herself. And she was fine with it, she thought. But then her face started breaking out in these big boils and stuff. I don't remember what she called it, but she's like, "This is weird," and she didn't think she was stressed out. But she ended up after a couple months after she moved, she decided to scan her hand, and it told her all the stuff, and she was able to diagnose really what was going on, and then to help use her oils to support it, and then everything disappeared. Went away eventually, but so I thought that was pretty incredible. So many times we just don't know why we're feeling the way we're feeling, we don't know what's going on, right? And so it's nice
Mm-hmm.
to be able to I really like this app to be able to cross-reference things so that I can see, "Oh, that's what I'm feeling." Because sometimes I'm too confused. And I think that's kind of a protective thing too, that we don't wanna really admit that or pay attention to that, or we like to stuff it in the corner. But if we can really pull it out and work on it, then we can actually move through that quicker and not be suffering year after year. Like forgiveness is a big one. How many of you guys have somebody in your life that you just can't forgive? Like there's
Nope.
some you don't somebody that harmed you or wronged you or done something, and it's just so toxic to our bodies. So,
Yeah, you
but
have to let go of that energy.
that's right. Here's some other things too. There's a wheel chart and stuff like that. But this book you can find on Aromatools or Oil Life. There's also a whole bunch of emotional oils here. I can't believe I've already been talking for an hour. But these emotion oils are incredible. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but I just love this chart. And the reason why I like to show this chart is it kind of helps you figure out which oil to pull or to reach for when you're not sure. If you notice that the mint oils and the citrus oils are on top of the chart. So if you're feeling gloomy or feeling down, reach for an oil that's like a plant in the tree or mint or something that's very uplifting. If if you're having anxiety and you just need to ground yourself, then reach for something like roots, grasses, and trees that are very strong and sturdy. And that's going to help ground you and make you feel more supported. If you want a hug, reach for flower oils because if you look at the rose petals or flowers, they all open up, right? So the petals usually wrap around each other and then as they open up to the sun. So if you want a hug and you want to open your heart up to accept things. Spices are just what they are. They invigorate you. They help excite you and get things going when you're sitting in front of the TV too long or something. So then, of course, there's these emotional kits that you can look at and get. And I'm going to not go through all these because you guys probably know about them. Now, we like to talk about the women's monthly moods and things like that. There's also the phytoestrogen, which is a supplement that you can take for hormones. And this Clary Calm is wonderful for women who are going through that time of month. And or even just like Larry even likes to use it when he feels a little anxiety. It is a really wonderful oil for anxiety. Now, have you guys all heard about the adaptive oils?
A little bit.
Oh my gosh. doTERRA is incredible about, they came out with this in 2019.
18, I think it was.
No, it's 2019. And it was right before the pandemic. And I couldn't believe that they had the foresight to think about having an oil to help with changing times and how things are changing. And this oil comes in a supplement. And so, like my mom, I think she was watching the news too much. Bless her heart. And just getting really and she started, I'm like, gosh, get the adaptive out. And so she started taking the adaptive oil and she goes, oh my gosh, it's just very helping support that heart and that the fear that we have and what's happening and what's going on and are we ever going to get back to normal. I really like this oil because it comes in a 15 ml bottle, great for using in the diffuser. And also I like to put the roller, I have it sitting right here next to my desk, so if I'm around, I just kind of like to use it in my purse too when I'm out and about. And also I want to go back to the gut health. My cat's climbing up the curtain. She needs an oil. Um, um, we have these supplements, and these supplements, when we're talking about micronutrients and feeding our organs and our brains, a lot of the supplements that are out there in the marketplace actually are um, formed in a pill. And in this pill, they actually have a glue that glues the nutrients together that our stomach cannot digest. And so I know people who have family members that work in septic systems and things like that for the city, and they are constantly clearing this filtering with the pills that have never been digested through people's bodies. And so, what's so great about doTERRA's supplements is that they are bioavailable to our bodies, and the omegas, they actually have a daily support of oils that we should use every day in our life. And so, these, I don't know if you guys are taking the supplements, but my friend, when she introduced me to the oils, oh, Becky, you should take the supplements. And I'm like, no, don't. Every essential oil company has their own supplements. I'm not going to do that. But no kidding, these really,
They are a game changer. And I was always somebody who was always searching for the best vitamin supplements because I did work out almost every day. And I was always using very good supplements. But when we switched and I wanted to try these, they really were a game changer. I really could feel a difference. And so we've always just stuck to those as a daily regimen. And it's such an easy thing to incorporate.
yeah. Um, and I could tell the story about my brother, but I know we're running late on time here. So I'm just going to ask for another minute or two. And then, of course, the probiotics are a life changer too. And really start to think about, are you taking care of your gut so that your gut can take care of your mind? And be able to know that a happy gut is a happy life. And I do have a gut class that we're going to be doing. I can't see that far. Gut is on Saturday at 9 in the morning. I wanted to do it early in the morning so everybody can have their day. But we're going to be doing these series of classes throughout the whole month. I have 5 class themes: gut health, mind, immune system, inflammation, and one more here, sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we're going to be rotating them through the week. So pay attention to the calendar too if you wanted to invite someone who's struggling with sleep, or someone who's struggling with arthritis, or struggling with gut health. I am an actual real expert now on gut health. And so my gut class, I did a lot of research and stuff on why are we so messed up? Why are we so sick? We're supposed to have had the best medical system in the world. And we're like 38 on the list of countries on our medical. I mean, we are so sick more today than we've ever been. And so why is that? So I have a whole bunch of reasons why on that. Okay, so these are the books that we just talked about. And then here's another really good book called I'm Fabulous. And this book actually has a lot of diffuser blend recipes. It has a whole bunch of stuff from, all these emotions. It's really great. And you can actually make spray bottles and roller bottles. It's a fun little kit to get from Aromatouch, if that's a place that you like to purchase things from, or Oil Life. So we are doing what's called the Diamond Club. And in the Diamond Club, we are offering special promotions. So if you know of anybody who you would like to bring on to doTERRA and invite them to this wonderful world of essential oils, we have free oils that we would like to give them as an incentive. And also, we would like to give you guys an oil too for whoever brings that person on, and that they would be on your downline or whatever. And but that's what we're doing. And so that's what these classes are. And so we have all these kits that they could look at. And and I don't know if you're familiar with the loyalty reward program on how to get deeper discounts. Are you guys on the loyalty reward program? Yeah. Allison, are you familiar with the loyalty?
I was on the program until I had news that I'm going to travel.
Yeah. Oh, use
No,
your
I'm not
points
on it
up.
right now.
Before you cancel, use your points up. Don't let, maybe even just buy a chapstick or something so that you won't lose your points, because what happens is that doTERRA rewards you for deeper discounts for being loyal. So every month you're on it, on a consistent month, you'll get more and more discount, right? If you miss 1 month, it goes back down to 10% again, and you lose your points. So make sure you use your points up before, if you decide to let it lapse.
Yeah, at
Okay.
least
Well,
order one little product that maybe you don't have or something.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Was it just this last month, maybe?
I think it was January, so
Try calling doTERRA and say that you're moving and life has just been, and see if they will let it come back on for you. See if they'll give it back to you. I had somebody tell me that yesterday, that doTERRA was able to do that for them. It might be worth calling if you've been ordering
Yeah.
consistently for a while. Would hate to have you lose those points
maybe
anyway.
maybe it's been within 30 days, and you can just say, hey, I forgot. People forget things. Life happens.
Like my husband, we're moving, and it's just like, oh my gosh, they will understand. And if not, well, at least it was worth trying, right?
yeah. Thanks for the
Yeah. And so this is the last thing here, is one of the really cool things that doTERRA has just done this last fall is that they started these targeted programs for mind and mood. And basically it's part of your loyalty reward program. So it's a 90 days. So the first month you would buy this kit, and I think it's $70. And they're cute little bags. They're like a little shaving cream bag kind of, but they're perfect for traveling. This deodorant's really cute. It's a little deodorant. You get a balance oil and the adaptive supplement and the adaptive roll-on. And then the next month, you get actually these bath salts, and you get the blue spruce, lavender, adaptive 15 mil, and wild orange. And then the next month, you get like the sprays, and the adaptive spray you can't buy. This is a new thing. This is only available in this kit. And then you get cedarwood and citrus bliss and lavender and bath salts again. And so basically the whole goal behind having this whole set is to help people people get through their 90 days of helping them with support and whatnot. I think Terry had a phone call. So, okay, so that's basically it anyway. So do you guys have any questions or anything, or how was that for you?
It was really good. I got a lot out of it. It was really good. Yeah.
Well, I'm so delighted that you came, and
Thank you, Allison.
and if there's anything like you would love to learn more or learn something differently, please let me know, because I've got like 50 different kinds of classes that I can do. And I would love to be able to just, help education. We've been in lockdown for so long, and I feel like we just all need to be connected and just hungry to learn something, and just to, learn how we can support our bodies and get back to a normal life, I think. Yeah. So thank you. Do you have anybody you think you would like to bring to some of the classes in the future?
Not right now. Everyone in my circle is pretty busy right now.
Yeah.
What's going on, right? But I will definitely be trying to make as many of the classes as I can.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Thank you, Allison.
Yeah, definitely. And please always feel free to reach up and write me an email or text me or something. I'm here all day long to support you and to help you with anything. So thank you so much. And we look forward to getting to know you better.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
Yeah. Best of luck to you and your husband, and I hope you move somewhere that is going to make you happy.
Me too.
yeah. Oh, and tomorrow on Wednesdays, we're calling our Wednesdays Wellness Wednesday. And that is what we call Wellness Consult. And what we are doing with that is everybody, we're regrouping. So basically, when people signed up, one of the things is that we always would like to do a wellness consult. But many people didn't know how to do them, and many people didn't want to do them. Many people didn't want to felt like they're going to be pressured into something. But what the wellness consult is for is to help you go through and see how to use your oils. And if you had some wellness goals that you wanted to work on, we would help you find recipes and find ways to use the oils to support that. And so that is what a wellness consult is for. And we're going to do those every Wednesday at noon. And it might be several people on the call. And so we can go through and do the most of the class, and then go through individually and work with each person with what their goals are. So that's Wednesday at noon. Thursday we do 2 o'clock, and Friday's 5 o'clock, Tuesday's 2 o'clock. We tried to make them sound the same so that it'd be easy to remember. And Sunrise Saturday is 9 in the morning.
Yes, I was like, oh, I wonder where their schedule is, but I found it on your page.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Good.
And are you getting my emails then, or did you find this on the Facebook page then?
I got it from your email.
Perfect.
I don't Facebook very much.
Good. That's a healthy thing.
So
Yeah. All
I
right.
definitely found it in my email.
Oh, cool.
Good.
Like, oh, when's what class? And then I looked and okay, yeah, I got my daughter to sleep, but just at 1:50. So
Oh, perfect. That was great. How old is she?
she's 4.
4.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's great. Well, it was a pleasure to see you, and you take care. We'll go ahead and close this class today. So all one on oils. You have a beautiful afternoon, okay?
Thank
You
you,
too.
Elsie.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Good job.